I want to be somebody, then you can pass it up. I don't want you to pass it up. I want you to be willing to be a sheep shepherded by the great shepherd, and I'm not he. That was question number one. Who is it that's going to shepherd us? One that will never, ever, ever fornicate, commit adultery, embezzle, deny the faith. He won't ever let you down. Number two, how can He do this? How can He be my shepherd today? This is the 21st century. And He died, and I'm a sinner, and I don't deserve to be cared for every day of my life by the greatest shepherd who ever was. I don't deserve it, and He's dead. Okay, now the text again, verse 20, answers both of those questions of He's dead, and I don't deserve it. Verse 20, Hebrews 13:20. Now may the God of peace, who brought again from the dead our Lord Jesus, answer number one, the great shepherd of the sheep, by the blood of the eternal covenant, answer number two. Even though He died, God raised Him from the dead. That's why He's a living shepherd. No other religion in the history of the world can say this. Jesus Christ died for us, and He rose to shepherd us forever. Christianity is the only one that offers you a living shepherd who loved you so much as to die for you. Only one. And you need it, and deep down inside, late at night, you know exactly that's what you need. I hope that you'll be honest with yourself. What about my undeserving? How does that work here in verse 20? Read it again slowly. Now may the God of peace, who brought again from the dead, there's the resurrection and His present living capacity to shepherd me, our Lord Jesus, the great shepherd of the sheep, by the blood of the eternal covenant. Now, I can see something you can't see. Sorry, I hate to do this. But in the Greek, I can tell what that modifies, and you can't because of the word order that isn't there in the English. By the blood of the eternal covenant modifies God brought Him from the dead. I know that. Sorry. You look at it and you say, well, it could go either way. Could go back, could go forward. What can I say? It goes backward. So try it out at least. You've got to take my word for this. And if you don't like it, try to make it work the other way. It works the other way too. No heresy at stake here. Just glory. It says, God, the God of peace, brought again from the dead, the great shepherd of the sheep, by the blood of the eternal covenant, our Lord Jesus. That's the Greek word order. And the putting the our Lord Jesus at the end shows that the by the blood of the eternal covenant doesn't jump over that and go forward. It goes backward. So here's the meaning. Jesus Christ shed His blood, and He called it something at the Lord's table, the Last Supper. Remember what He called it? This blood is the new covenant in my blood. This cup is the new covenant in my blood. So He's saying that when I shed my blood, I am purchasing, guaranteeing, and securing and obtaining all the promises of the new covenant, like Jeremiah 31:31-33, Ezekiel 37, Ezekiel 11, these magnificent promises, one of which was, I will forgive their sins. Which means that since He shed His blood, the sins of all of His sheep were forgiven when He died. And God, who planned all this, watched that happen. And He was so absolutely thrilled with the achievement of His Son, He raised Him from the dead because of the blood of the covenant. That's the reason that modifying matters. He raised Him from the dead by the blood of the eternal covenant, meaning the blood of the eternal covenant was so complete, so finished, so glorious, so wonderful, it is only fitting that Christ be vindicated out of the grave because of what He achieved on Good Friday. So, now we've got answers to the how question. First how question is, how can He shepherd me today? He died. Answer, God raised Him from the dead. He's alive today. Oh, that He would manifest Himself in some powerful way in this room so that it would be unmistakable. He's done that for me a couple of times this weekend. I won't tell you what they are, but they were sweet and remarkable. May He do it for you. And second, Piper does not deserve to be shepherded by the greatest shepherd that ever was. Maybe a shepherd 10,000 rungs down on a good day. And there aren't many. I don't deserve a shepherd. So how do I get one? The blood of the eternal covenant covers my sins and purchases the promise of transformation and preservation. That's the how question. Third, what? The what question. What will it mean to have a shepherd in the 21st century like this? What's it mean? Just talk? Just talk. Just kind of a nice metaphor to make people feel good. A little religious mumbo-jumbo here. And we all go out and watch television. Reality stuff. No. This is reality. And the answer is in verse 21. And there are two answers to the what question. Crystal clear. You can see them. Don't need any Greek here. Let's read the whole thing. And I'll point it out when we get there. Now may the God of peace, who brought again from the dead our Lord Jesus, the great shepherd of the sheep, by the blood of the eternal covenant. Now here's the first thing it means for you. May He equip you with everything good that you may do His will. And here's the second one. Working in us that which is pleasing in His sight. And this next phrase is the one that shows that it's the shepherd who's doing it. It says the God of peace is doing it, and now we see how He's doing it, or through whom He's doing it. And the answer is through Jesus Christ. Okay, let's take those one at a time. First answer, He equips you. You got a shepherd? The great shepherd, He equips you with everything good that you may do His will. Now, let's make really clear what that doesn't say and doesn't mean. Your shepherd, Jesus, infinite in power, does not promise you that He will equip you with everything you need to be rich, or famous, or healthy, or beautiful. What He says is, you will have everything you need to do my will. That's precious. It's not what the world wants. You've got to have your heart changed to want this, to be happy about this, to consider this good news. Like, you mean He won't ever ask me anything to do for which He does not make provision? No, He won't. That's what it says. He won't make you rich, necessarily. You might. It's not promised. He won't make you healthy, necessarily. The reason Chuck isn't going to Burma is up here leading with 5 gallstones in his belly. God healed Chuck. No promises that he won't have to have some kind of zap. God could do it. It's not part of the deal. But this is part of the deal. If you've got this shepherd,